Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Harmony and I'm so happy to be here. Today's video is a bit different because I have done a reading for you, and I normally don't do readings for others, but only do readings for myself and done reading for close ones a couple of times. But I just felt this nudge from the universe when I was doing meditation today, so I just felt this nudge to do this reading, especially because it's the eclipse season, and so it has been an eclipse season, but this is another eclipse that's happening tomorrow, and it's the full moon, so it's the time to release. And so what's the energy for the next 6 months? And this is what I felt like to send this, get this information out there. I just felt guided to do it. So if this helps you in some way and resonates with you, that's brilliant. But I specifically asked the universe, so okay, I feel guided to do a reading, so what do you want me to what message do you want to come through this video, in this video? So okay, let's start then. So the first message that came through, the first card that came up was, I'll just move this a little bit, I'll just put a brick right, okay, that's much better. Is the World card, which is so interesting because what's going on in the world right now, and to me this is not only about what's going on in the outer world, but it's also what's going on in your inner world. So lots of changes are happening, and but if you look at this card, you can see that this lady, this woman, she looks all perfect, and she looks like she's got control. So she's taking over of what's going on in the outer world that's behind her, and she's standing here and she's got control within herself. So to me this looks like yes, many of us, whatever is happening in the outer world, we have started taking control of what's going on in our inner world, because everything out there is a reflection of the consciousness of how we feel, and not how we feel, but what's inside us, okay, how we see things, how we perceive things. And at this time that's been going on, that's bringing change in the outer world, it's bringing change in the inner world as well. So what we are doing now with this energy that's starting tomorrow, we already have stepped into it, we already have started doing it, we are working on it, but this is like perfection. So this is showing like what's in our mind, where do we want to go, what do we want to achieve, like achieve this balance, this like strength, this power in our inner world, so that can reflect in our outer world. So that was the first card that came through. Then the second card that came up was the Three of Wands. And what does the Three of Wands means? So that the first card was the card of the world. It's a major arcana, which means yes, it's big, that we're starting to take control of what's going on in our world, both inner and outer. And the second card is the Wands. So what do Wands represent? What Wands represents action. Oops, sorry. Right, sorry, 1 second. There we go. Sorry. So Wands represent action. So we have already started something, we have already taken action, and the Three of Wands shows that we have taken action, and there is a ship there. We are waiting for the ship to come. So the initial things, the foundation, initial project is is initial steps have been taken. Now we are waiting for the ship to come and take us into what we want to achieve. Okay, then the next card that came up was, sorry, the Ace of Swords. So what does Ace of Swords mean to me when I look at it? Ace is the new beginning. So this is definitely a new beginning, because it's the ending of the old, and all these cards are showing the beginning of something new. Like we've already started it, but we are going through with it. And when I look at this, to me it also means like it's cutting away anything that doesn't serve us anymore. So for us to start this new beginning, we are cutting away whatever things that don't serve us, is not for our highest good. But also the sword represents our thinking, so how we think. So our thinking has started to change, because we've got a new way of thinking now. And we start, say for example, we were before on the 3rd floor. This is how we saw things, we were thinking. But now we've gone to the 5th floor, and when we look down, we can see the bigger picture. So we start seeing things from a bigger, wider perspective, so from all different angles. So it's a new beginning of way of thinking. It's a new beginning in everything, I would say, like how I saw it, because it's a word that came up. So it's a new beginning in all the areas of life. So then the next card that came up was another sword card. That's the 10 of Swords, and this card shows like all these swords are falling down on that man, but they are not touching him. Okay, so we thought that although there's a new beginning and a lot of things have started, but there is a lot of things that we need to evaluate and think why these things happen, if there are things that hurt us. We thought, oh, okay, I'm starting a new beginning, but what about all these things that happen? Will they even let me start this new beginning? Will they even let me start my new life and let me go ahead with what I want to do? So what's interesting in this is to know that whatever these look like, they are not touching you. So in no way it's going to hurt you. So whatever's going through, because you're starting, every time when we start a new beginning, we have to go through stages of leaving something behind. Okay, so when we start looking at it this way, because this tells us like it's a new way of starting to look at things. So when we start looking at things from a new perspective, then we can see from this card that whatever happened, whatever those issues, those problems, those worries, whatever's are coming to us, they are just a blessing in disguise, because they are making us see that they never really touched us, because we are at our core, we are who we are. Okay, it's like I am who I am that I am. So we are always the same at our core. The God self within us is always the same. So no matter what we see, no matter what's going on, what happened, or this can be the past, like we still think of what happened, or whether we see things like coming in our way, it actually is coming to show us that nothing is going to touch us. Okay, we have to trust and believe, because it's not touching us. This is how we have to change our way of thinking. This is how we need to start thinking. Okay, so the next card that came up with was Happy Family. So what this card means to me is like when we change our way of thinking, whatever happening, in this card, like whatever happened or is happening is always happening for our highest good. We need to see why this is happening. So at the end of the day, it can be a blessing in disguise. Like I said, it's not helping. It's not there to hurt us or to do any bad things to us. And when we start seeing that, we realize that, then we can see that it's leading us, it's pushing us towards this happy family. So this happy family, to me, especially number 4, also means stability. So stability is like we are understanding. Also, this year is 2020, which is a vibration of 4, and like I said, to me it means stability. And when do you get stability? When you're happy in everything that you're doing. So it's not only, for me, it doesn't only mean the family, your close family, like in your house, but it's also your soul family. It's like who are your soul tribe, you know, the people who think like you, the people who share the same values, who share the same thoughts, who are like you. So they'll start appearing in your life, and this is what it's telling me, because you can also see the rainbow. To me, the rainbow is the rainbow bridge, and it's showing me that we can go across the bridge. We are going across the bridge to meet our family of light. So it could be our angels, guides, and more connection with them, or in physical as well. We can meet people who feel like family, like we know them. It's like members of our soul groups that we started seeing, we'll start coming up in our lives, because we started changing, we started attracting this type of vibration. And if the rainbow, to me, is very significant. So this is the bridge, the happiness of where we are going. Okay, so the next card then that came up was the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, and this is to do with the throat chakra. So when we start doing that, we've come to meet our family, then we start speaking our truth. Okay, so many times we are like lying to ourselves. Okay, so when that happens, the throat chakra gets blocked and we can't speak our truth. So when we start clearing our throat chakra, and then we stop lying to ourselves, we stop pretending, we take action. So we start expressing who we are, because we are going through all these changes and pushing forward towards meeting our soul tribe, taking control of our world, waiting for our ships, like engaging on this new journey, and starting to see things like blessings in disguise, how they pushed us, making sense of them, and getting to meet people who are like us. Then we start speaking our truth. So maybe this is what the world is waiting for us to be our true self, not to pretend. Because I did a video about role plays, how we play roles, but this is like becoming your authentic self and speak the truth of who you are really at the core, because this is who you are becoming. And interestingly, when you start doing that, the next card that came up was the card of deceit. So to me, this looks like the card of illusion. So when we start speaking our truth, this is what will reflect outside. So we will be able to see through all deceit, all illusions. We can see right through it, and we can see what it also means. Like if anything like this comes into our world, we can see through this. Okay, and this is number 25. When you add it, it comes to number 7. So it's got two two meanings for me, like if I interpret it. So one is like deception, but two sides of a coin, and on the other side, when there is deception, what is on the other side? It's trust. And what is trust? And interestingly, back to back, this is the card that came up. So this is the angel of love. And if you look at this one, the number is 49, and when you add 49, it comes to 13. And the Fibonacci of 7 is 13. Isn't that interesting? So this is the angel of 7. So when you start seeing through the deception, you start looking at things through the eyes of love. So when you start bringing more love into your life, there is no space for deception. There's nothing for deception. So when you're growing, you start speaking your truth. You can see through the illusion that's going on, and then through the illusion you can see that there is love behind that. And also, if you look from this angle, when you see from the eyes of love, when you are in a space of love, you talk from you you have love within you. The more love you bring within you, you can see deception. So it's like two sides of the coin. Okay, so beautiful, because love is like, it's showing us the way, like it's coming in our way. It's not any romantic love. To me, love means the divine love that is at the level of source, because at the level of source we've got light and love. And light is the consciousness, the wisdom, and love is the love, the divine love, the mother's love. Light is the father's love. So when we have love, it shows like there is more love coming into our lives. Okay, it could be in all different ways that this will start it will start coming up in our lives. And when that starts coming in our life, then this is the next card that came up, and this is the card of balance. How beautiful is this? It's like it's like the steps, the different steps. This reading is so beautiful, like, because it's giving us all the different steps of what's going on, what are the steps we are going through, and what are the steps we are taking, and where does it lead? What's the next step? So the next step is balance. And this is again comes back to the world, because we started that here. We started working on it. We started working on our new project, taking control of our inner world, ourselves. And how do we take control of our inner selves? Is by bringing balance into our lives. So this is what this card means to me. This is what I can say. It's balance. So once you bring balance, it's the balance of the light and the love that is within us, and the light that is connected to the higher light, to the God light, to the light of source, and the love that is the mother's love, the divine mother's love, the light, the divine father's love. And we've all got it in us, in every single being. That exists, because there's God in every single thing, all of existence. So this is so beautiful, because this is what's happening. This is where we are moving towards, because when we start coming to this, the balance we start experiencing balance. Then the next card that I took from the beautiful light language card, look at that. What starts happening inside? We start connecting more and more to our inner being, our inner self. Like with this card, we started seeing, okay, and now this one we start becoming. So we get the insight, like because we started it, it was a new beginning. Like, we started seeing things from a different perspective. Now we started getting insights. So it's like expanding. The consciousness is expanding because we are taking steps for it to expand. And this is what's happening. When we started doing that, we started going through all these steps. This is where this is coming from, because that's the higher self. It's the God self within each of us. It's the power that we can tap into. It's the Christ consciousness, and it's the love of source. It's that consciousness that is coming through. But all the light, you can see it's coming from top here and shining all through the body, so we can tap into the higher mind of God and of source, or the Father, the wisdom, whatever you call it. So we can start tapping into that, and that will start flowing easily. So we won't have to put any effort, extra effort. When we have followed all these steps, we don't have to put any extra efforts. So this is how this will start flowing through easily, and we can connect with the light. Okay, and the last card that came up was your soul name. How beautiful is this? Because this is the last card, and I recently did a reading, a video on how to connect to your higher self. I did mention on that when we connect to our higher self, like our higher self, our God self at a higher level, they do have, we all have a name. Our higher self have a name, and the name has a meaning, and it means something. And look at that. It's when you get the insight, when you start seeing things from that level, high level, then you start to understand. You get to know who you are, who you truly are. What do you align with? What is your embodiment? What is your true name? And what meaning? What does it mean? What does your true name mean? You get to know your real, authentic self, who you truly are at your core, who your higher self is, because your higher self is you. So this is how I was surprised when I did this reading, because to me it all looks like, the way the cards came out. It's just so I can't get the word, but it's just so flowing. It's like all the different steps that we'll be going through, and how beautiful this world looks like. So I mean, I hope this information helps you, and all these cards mean something to you. So this is my interpretation of what they are, but I've been putting the cards up here, so you can have a look at the cards and pause them if you like to, and see what they mean, if they have the same meaning, or if you want to interpret them in a different way. So feel free to do that. But yeah, that's the reading. I don't normally do it, like I said, but I think the universe just wanted me to. My guidance itself said to me, like, yeah, do this reading and send this information across, and whoever is watching it, whoever needs it at the time they need it, need it now, it's fine. If they need it whenever they're ready to watch it, whether it's right before the full moon, after the full moon, after the eclipse, it's fine, because whenever you're watching it, you were guided to watch it. So this is it, and I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope it resonates with you, and much love and light, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.